Hello everybody, today's video is a review of book 2 and 3 of the Red Queen series. Book 2 is called Glass Swords and book 3 is King's Cage, and they're both written by Victoria Aveyard. I'm doing both of these together because it's been a while since I read them, so I don't remember everything, to be honest, especially about the second book. Because this book took me, I started in July, and I ended it in October, so it took me a really long time. Pardon the mariachi music. My neighbors have a mariachi band going on, so enjoy the Mexican music. Anyways, so book 3 took me forever to read, which is why these two reviews are up so late, and why it's been a while, because I wanted to get through this book first. And then I also have another book review coming up. It's this one, which will be a different video. Anyways, and I'm actually reading this one right now, and I'm actually taking notes and stuff, so it's a little different from this video, so hopefully. But anyways, let's go on and talk about book 2. I quite enjoyed book 2. I know a lot of people usually, the second book isn't always as good as the first. This one, actually that was as good as the first book. I quite enjoyed Shade, who is Mare's brother. I'm very disappointed. Spoilers going forward, guys, just so you know, that he gets killed off in this book. I quite enjoyed his character. I thought he was a lot of fun. I feel like if he was in this book, it would have been a lot better. That's just me. I know, like, in books with revolutions and things like that, kind of like the Hunger Games and so forth, characters tend to die in them, especially ones you like. But I was like, I really wish he had been in more than one book. That's just my opinion. It's kind of like how in the Hunger Games, Finnick, I think that's the character, yeah, Finnick, he was only in 2 books, and I really liked the character. I didn't want him to go. If any character that probably could have bit the dust in the end, I would have picked, like, Gale. Sorry, just saying, like, get rid of one of the love interests, not the cool characters people like. Anyways, but I loved his character. He was the highlight of the book for me. And I also enjoyed Cal and Mare's relationship in this book. In the second book, that is, they get to bond, and you see them going through some of the experience, because they comfort each other when they have nightmares, so they're going through the experiences together that they've had. In that book, in the second book, Mare is looking for all the new bloods. That's what they're called, and she's kind of successful in some cases. In other cases, Maven beats her to the punch. And he has this really sick game where he leaves notes for her, and it was really disturbing. Like, and to know that for Maven, the only reason he is the way he is because his mother literally took his mind and tore it apart in a way. Like, picture your brain, right? And she took it apart like a puzzle. And instead of putting it back together the same way, she took different pieces and stuck them in to make it her way. Which is really very disturbing and very shocking. You sympathize with Maven in that way, and you're also just like, you kind of don't. So that's kind of like the main story of the book, by the way, is them searching for these new bloods. And I knew some people might find that boring. I thought it was fun because it brought in these new characters, and it made each new character brought something different that wasn't there before. So I really quite enjoyed that. And again, like I said, Shade really helped that book out a lot for me to enjoy it. And what else? Oh, they try to do this big breakout of a prison where the mayor realizes that the new blood she thought Maven killed are actually alive. So they go in there to rescue them. It's kind of successful. They get some of these guys out. Not everybody makes it. That's where Shade dies. Again, it's quite unfortunate. He was a great character. I wish he was in the third book. And she turns herself into Maven not before she kills Alara, who's Maven's mother. And I'm like, thank goodness that that woman is dead, because she was just horrible woman. I'm glad she's gone. So book 2, I really liked. I'm gonna give that one an A because it was actually really good. However, book 3 is actually the first book where we get different perspectives than Mare's. We get Cameron and Evangeline's, who I actually thought were really interesting and kept the book from being a real letdown, because this book was a letdown to me. A majority of the book is spent with Mare in captivity, and I felt like that part was very dragging. I feel like they should have taken some of her chapters and given them to either Maven or Cal or Evangeline, because there's a lot going on from their story. Like, Cal is planning to, or was in contact with his grandmother. It's like, I would like to have seen that stuff, how that happened, how he was able to work all that out. Evangeline's family was plotting to break off from the kingdom and make their own and become their own royal family. It was all kinds of craziness going on in the book that I felt like, had we seen those things happening instead of like half of the chapters that were of Mare being in captivity, it would have really brought this book up more for me, because it just dragged on forever and ever until Mare got rescued. And then after that, I enjoyed the book again. I quite liked seeing her and Cal together again. I like them. They're my favorite couple. Mare, of course, Mare and Cal, I believe, consummate their relationship. I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. And during that time, I feel like I thought they were going close. Mare, of course, worked on her powers with other people that are exactly like her. They have the same lightning powers. That are new bloods. So that part of the book, I liked the end. However, before I actually get to the end, let me talk about Angeline. Turns out she's actually an LGBT character. Didn't know that. In the first, I actually thought, that she was just the girl that hated Mare for no reason because she was a rival, and it turns out she doesn't really care that Cal had romantic feelings for Mare, because she has feelings for Elaine, who is, we thought at the time was her best friend. Turns out they're in love with each other, which I thought was really cool. Like, again, I would have liked more from Evangeline, because it would have been more representation for LGBT characters in fantasy stories, because that would have been awesome. We could have seen their relationship more, and maybe you found out how they work together and all these things, how they fell in love, but it didn't happen. So that was really disappointing, and one of the reasons why I would have loved more from Evangeline's perspective as well. And then, of course, in the end, they are successful in defeating, they defeat Maven, they kill the Lakelander king, but Maven's still technically in charge of the kingdom right now. Let me see, I can't remember the name of the kingdom. Oh no. What is it called? Lakeland. I have a map right in front of me and I can't figure this out. Norda. It's Norda. He's still in charge of Norda. So Cal decides to side with, or to agree to become king again of Norda, and he technically wants Mary to be his queen. You know, he's like, we can do really great things together. And Mary turns it down. And that's kind of a letdown a little bit, because I liked them together. I want to see them together. I want to see them happy. And I feel like, you know, I thought Mary would become queen, to be honest. Because this series is called The Red Queen. And it's a little bit of letdown knowing that she's refusing to be a queen. Because I do feel like her and Cal could make a difference in their world. And kings and queens aren't always bad, right? But, see, it's called the Red Queen series. I mean, obviously I haven't read the last book, which is book 4. But I plan to, soon. Hopefully it's better than this one. We'll see. But that was another letdown for me, is Cal and Mary's relationship ended. Which was disappointing, because I enjoyed them together. And I honestly thought they would have chosen each other, to be honest. And I'm a little bit let down by that. Cal was picking the throne, and she's picking, I guess, the revolution? I don't know. I mean, she's pretty much, they're picking the opposite of each other. So, that was a letdown. To be honest, I'm giving this book a C. It's a well-written book. Again, there are a lot of things that really saved it, like once Mare was saved, the different perspectives that we got to see. Oh, yes, that's what saved it, really, for me, and made it a C instead of anything less. I feel like if we didn't have anything from Evangeline or Cameron, I would have given the book a D, to be honest. It was a letdown for me. I know some people really enjoyed the 3rd book. That's okay. I'm glad you did, but I didn't. So, book 2 gets an A. Book 3 gets a C. And I will read book 4 at some point in time. Oh, by the way, my book is also, again, autographed by Victoria Aveyard, which is really cool. Yeah, well, that's my video. Book 2, book 3 of the Red Queen series. Book 2 was great. I loved book 2. Book 3, disappointment, unfortunately. I was so looking forward to this book too. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first read the first chapter, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then it took forever for me to finish it. So just be warned, if you really enjoyed the first 2 books, this one will probably drag for you. But yeah, so that's that. I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the book review of Fallen Kingdoms. And then I also have some Once Upon a Time videos coming back up. So I'll see you then. Bye.